What's up, YouTube? It's Artisan MC, fresh from the theaters again. And this time I saw Gemini Man with Will Smith by Ang Lee, which is the most surprising thing of this movie because I had known it was being directed by Ang Lee until about a week ago, which actually made me more anxious to see the movie. I still believe this is a remake of an older movie called Gemini Man. I have to go back and do my research and make sure on that, but that's just what I'm recalling off the top of my head. But I liked the movie. The movie was good. It had good action. I liked the story. The story was compelling, and because it was done by Ang Lee, if you've seen some of my other reviews talking about the Hulk and Ang Lee and why the Hulk didn't work with some people for Ang Lee does emotional content really well. And I wouldn't expect him to do this kind of movie. This would be more up John Woo's alley or something like that. But Ang Lee's direction that he brought to the movie, I felt that. Yes, there was a lot of fucking crying because Will Smith can emote. I don't know if it's on a dime or what, but the motherfucker emotes and you feel it. You know, I don't know if it's the ears or what, but I love him as an actor when he gets down and really emoting and putting himself into a scene. I mean, I fucking feel it. And so there was, some crying in this, but it was, in the context of the story, it made sense that the character at that time is dealing with a lot of emotional issues that he's struggling with, and it's not just Will Smith's main character of Henry Brogan, but the clone of him, Junior, is also dealing with it. And this is, for me, I'll say this, that I've said it before, but never said it obviously on YouTube, but Will Smith is the king of acting by himself to me. I mean, ever since Independence Day, where he got to sit on a chair in front of his green screen and make believe that he was flying a jet plane and everybody bought that shit and thought it was the best thing ever. It's him or Andy Serkis that I would go to if I had to be taught how to act against a green screen, because he does it. I mean, the scene in I Am Legend, where he had to choke out and kill the dog that he had been raising all that time, that was his daughter's puppy, that was emotional. That was some emotional shit. And for the most part, it's nothing there. And that's when I just took my hats off to that dude. It's like, whatever you do, I don't give a shit. And I've seen a lot of his freaking movies. I've seen about as many of his movies as I've seen of Denzel. You know, so he's just another really solid actor, and I'm actually, pleased that I got to see this guy develop over all this time. Because, mind you, I still got the tape, the cassette tape from the late 80s, early 90s of Rock the House with him and Jazzy Jeff. I still had that shit. So I've been watching Will Smith and liking what he turned out for a fucking while. So seeing him in this movie and emoting again, it's like, hats off to the brother. He actually pulls it out, So not to spoil the whole freaking thing, but it's obvious that, okay, his character is like an elite freaking, let's say, military operator. Okay, he makes them kills. Okay, he wants to retire. They don't want him to retire. Well, they don't want to retire him because they think that he knows something that they didn't want him to know. One of the things that he didn't know was that he had a clone running around out there. And Clive Owen's character, who is another one of these military special contract operators, has made this clone of him and has this clone and raised it as his own. And sends this clone after the prime, character Will Smith was playing to kill him and take his place, pretty much. And yeah, that's all well and good. That's where some movies begin and end. That's, Born Identity or anything like this. But the twist on this is that it's not like you sent your son or anything to do it. You sent a clone of this person to do it. And like we've seen the theme since the Joker movie has come out, it's a story of how children and people raising these children fucking lie to them and send them out to do some horrendous fucking shit to other men, to other people. And the kids having that world ripped away from them when they find out, yeah, they said they loved you, but they were lying their ass off. And they manipulated you and used you. Again. And how they deal with it, how they process that shit. Because mind you, the junior character, who was also played by Will Smith with some clever facial mocap and stuff like that, he's playing both roles. They just de-age one of them. But the character itself is dealing with all this. This is all news to him. He's only supposed to be 23. So, if you put it in that context, yeah, this kid kind of crying and not having a hold of this stuff, not even having had a woman or anything like that yet, kind of fucked up. This is like, think of it like the evil Mr. Drummond, if you want. Different strokes. That's fucked up. But that's kind of where that movie goes, dealing with that concept of that. Because it's bad enough that you, in a sense, recognize that this person had these skills and this skill set. This black man had these skills and this skill set, so you decide to take his genetic material and clone him like he's not even a person. You don't even need his permission. And just decide that, well, the country couldn't be without you, so I'm just going to clone you and use you. But I'll make a better version of you that doesn't have your pain, doesn't have the angst that makes you who you are just for your skills. It's like, dude, that is a social message right there. Do you think that if they could clone one of these fucking dudes in the NFL, they wouldn't be cloning these motherfuckers? It hits on that vibe for me because as a black man, I understand how we're looked at in this society. Everybody shuns you, everybody hates you, but everybody wants what you fucking have. Your style, your swagger, your language, your music, your walk, all of that shit. Your genetic material to make them better. You're a fucking tool. And that's what this guy is doing in that. He's taking from this man, using him as just a place to take stuff. Clone him, raise that clone, and send it to kill the original where he got it from. And spoiler alert, if you don't think there's just one clone, you're a goddamn fool. Because, no, he does it more than once. Of course. That's the part that's fucked up. Because it shows you that how people see us sometimes is just as genetic stock. For our strength, for our speed, for analytical skills, for what we can be good at, what we can excel at. They just want to take that shit and copy it and use it for themselves. And that's what this movie hits on to me. That's what I'm thinking about as I sit in my car just leaving the movie, is how fucked up that was. That character did that, but it's just a play on how society uses us all the time. So, I think I'll end that right there. If you want to see Gemini Man, go check it out. Action is good. The gunplay and tactical skills are good. Will Smith, dude, I'd like to see him in a John Wick movie. To come up with, develop his own script and do a John Wick type of deal. Whatever. But it looked good. It looked good, and I'm glad to see Ang Lee directed another movie and Will Smith starring in the movie with him, because that, That was good. I enjoyed that. So that's my review on that. I won't do an in-depth review because it's just an action movie. But go look at the movie and tell me if you saw what I saw in there. And maybe you feel a little differently about it. Maybe you don't. Who knows? But that's it for me. On the lookout for the next Sunday binge. And I'll see you next time. Peace.